Did you know that the game Burnout Paradise advertised President Obama's campaign in 2008? The billboards in this game see Obama's Vote for Change campaign sign all around. You're listening to the Xbox Hub Podcast, the official podcast of the TheXboxHub.com. For all the latest Xbox news, reviews, videos and opinions, make sure you visit the TheXboxHub.com. But for now, settle down, get comfy, and open your ears for some podcast delights. Hello and welcome to the Xbox Hub Official Podcast, episode number 97. My name's Gareth Bride, I'm going to be your host, and on my virtual left is Mr. Paul Renshaw. How you doing, Paul?
I'm doing very well, Gareth. Thank you very much. How are you?
I'm doing good, very good. We did a podcast last week, didn't we? And there was a technical problem. We recorded the whole thing, and it's we couldn't put it out. It was a nightmare. So we're doing 97 again.
So this should be like 97 version 2?
Yeah, 97, right. the bootleg version, or whatever they call albums. And on my virtual right is Mr. Darren Edwards. How you doing, Darren?
I'm very well, thanks, Gareth. How are you?
Very good. Really good. We're doing it quite late tonight. It's quite a late one for us. It's when it gets a bit blue. No, it doesn't.
Speak for yourself.
So we are going to go. How's your week? How's your week, gentlemen? Darren, what have you been doing?
So I made the fatal error of suggesting a trip to IKEA on Friday after work. It's only 10 minutes down the road from us in Nottingham, so it's very local. Just for a look around, as you do. 3 hours later, and more pounds than I care to admit, we left. And then ended up spending the whole weekend just decorating. Loads of odd jobs from last year when we got the house that we haven't got round to. And yeah, the weekend went by without a flash. So productive weekend, but not the most relaxing weekend off work. But hey-ho, had to be done at some stage.
That sounds like hell.
I halfway up the stairs painting on Sunday, I did think, what am I doing? Why have I... Because I don't get every weekend off. I get every other weekend off working in retail. So I thought, what am I doing? Because this weekend I'm in all weekend. So yeah, but then it had to be finished. Couldn't leave it half done, so I committed.
IKEA's a weird place, isn't it? I mean,
it is a bit. It's like a really weird theme park, but without any rides. The kind of way you go round and go through rooms and stuff. It's a unique experience, to say the least.
I've got a friend who goes there for lunch every day.
Really?
Yeah. He loves the meatballs.
Wow. We got a hot dog. But yeah, I've not had the meatballs in a while.
Okay. Paul, what about you? Have you had the meatballs?
No, I'm proud to say that I have never been to IKEA.
Really?
Oh. It's brilliant. So, my wife hates it. I've taken a friend to IKEA, but I refuse to go in. I've just sat outside and waited. I took a book and everything else, but
you just chucked them out of the car and then waited in the car park.
Look, mate, you want to go and buy some Billy bookcase or whatever it is? You go and knock yourself out. I'll wait here. Bring the stuff on the trolley. We'll sling it in the car and go out. So yeah, that was great. But as for me, I mean, my week has been interesting, to say the least. I've had to go and make use of our glorious National Health Service this week, having various tests and things done by a very charming Polish doctor who unfortunately had very large hands given what he was doing. But I'm going to gloss over this.
It is getting blue.
Yeah.
Blushes. And then yesterday, everything sort of IT related in one of our Glasgow stores blew up, so I had to drive 6 hours and 300 miles to do 15 minutes work. So yeah, it was. It's been an interesting week, quite a exhausting one.
Oh, but you're here now. What have I been up to? I've been enjoying autumn. It's the last few days of the summer. The sun's out. and I'm getting ready for a mad time in autumn. And we're coming up to I said this last time. I'm repeating what we said in the episode that's never going to come out. We're coming out for our 100th episode of the podcast very soon. And I think we're going to do something special. There's going to be some giveaways. We've got some prizes, but also we're going to do something at EGX, which I just got a press pass for. So we're going to be there. We're going to do some live stuff there, maybe with some of you guys recorded. So that's coming up very soon.
Exciting stuff.
Yeah. Games. There's not much going on at the moment. We're in that autumn time and everything's going to start to come out. We just know that next week there's going to be loads of games out to review. We've had lots of indie games to review, but it's news-wise, it's quite quiet. But games, there's been a few games, haven't there, to play? What about, Darren, what have you been playing?
So me and Paul teamed up to play a game called Operation Tango. So it took us by surprise, really. It was good fun. You essentially play a couple of secret agents. One's kind of a hacker and one's the agent who goes and physically jumps into the action. And you've got to work as a team across voice chat, essentially, to complete the mission. So you, the hacker, might see the kind of cyberspace version, and then the agent will see the physical version, but you can't see both sides. You can only see one screen, so you've got to really communicate and work together. And we found the missions to be pretty varied, and it's worth picking up. You've got to have somebody who you can voice chat with. You can't do it any other way. It's co-op only, but it was really good. I wasn't expecting much, and it was really, really good fun.
And who was the better person? Who was the one that was best at it? Was everyone both clear?
I wouldn't like to say.
It's not really. It's not competitive in any way. I mean,
no, it's not.
That's the beauty of it. You know, you've got to. The agent will see something in the real world that will then help the hacker win the cyber world, and so you've got to talk. You've got to tell each other what you can see. You've got to say, you know, can you go to this bit and do all this stuff? There was one example was when we were trying to find a phone in a locker. So I went through all of the lockers, found all the phones and got Daz to check them. But because we hadn't cross-referenced some information from the databases with each other, the game just said, no, that's not the phone. That's not the phone. Then did this, it then went, oh yeah, actually no, that was the phone. I was just messing.
Right.
But yes, it's very good fun, and it's the cooperation part of it was great. It was like, what do you mean? Go left. What do you mean left?
It was quite tense in parts, wasn't it?
Oh, that's good. And can you play it with randoms, or can you play it? Do you have to be on the friends list?
There's a Discord channel that's embedded in the game that you can apparently join and find randoms to play with.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know if I'd fancy playing it with somebody I didn't know, if you get me.
Yeah.
Because you've got to talk all of the time. You know, you've got to be saying, well, I don't know if this is anything, but I can see somewhere that says XYZ on it. And then the Daz will go, XYZ, I've got a thing here for that. And so, yeah. It's really good. It's
a shame, isn't it? When we talked about this on the podcast before, but when you first started playing online on Xbox, you spent a lot of time talking to randoms and playing with people, didn't you?
Absolutely.
And now we've all stopped that, haven't we? We've got our kind of friends and our gangs of people, and we try to avoid going on because of generally abuse.
I do remember, Gears of War, kind of 13-year-old American kids just kind of shouting a few words, and so you think, right, block them. There was a lot of that.
Yeah.
But you're right, it's much more personalised these days, isn't it?
I remember, I think I might have said this before, I remember playing table tennis, Rockstar table tennis.
Oh, I remember that. Was that a launch title for the 360?
I think it was, in the beginning, wasn't it? I remember playing with a guy who was depressed and going through a divorce. That was a random guy, just while we played table tennis. Yeah. But he was a nice guy.
Yeah. Wow.
But it was like, but you would you'd just be on mic all the time, wouldn't you? Rather than now, you just won't do it.
Yeah.
It's a shame. It's a shame. Paul, what have you been playing?
What have I been playing? Well, apart from Operation Tango, I finally got my hands on one of my games of the year, which was BloodRayne Betrayal Fresh Bites. I know that you've been looking forward to hearing a verdict on this, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, it was okay. It wasn't as good as I was hoping. There were a few issues with the platforming. The fighting and everything was fine, but the platforming just wasn't precise enough. It was like whenever she landed, she seemed to have roller skates on her feet, so she'd just slide a little bit. And when you're trying to stop just short of a trap so you can jump through it, sliding a little bit sees you fall into the pit. And so it was pretty good. It was nice to hear the lady who did her voice, Laura Bailey, I think she's called, doing the original. She did the original voiceover apparently, and now she's back, and Troy Baker's in it as well. And
right.
you know, it's I think it's a rule that Troy Baker has to be in every video. So, but yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's a fairly solid sort of Metroidvania game. You get new abilities and stuff, and you can go and fight monsters and battle giant bosses and stuff. Yeah, it was very much okay.
Okay, a 3 out of 5.
I believe that's what I gave it.
Oh.
It may have been a 3.5.
Right, good.
Review live on the site now, listeners.
Game of the year? Still?
No, not.
Good.
I'm going to have to pin my hopes on Diablo 2 for that now.
Oh, okay.
Oh yes,
good. I've seen some of the cutscenes from Diablo 2. They look amazing. Yeah,
they do.
Yeah.
Yes, I was quietly surprised by that. So,
I've been playing. Now I'm going to talk about some of the games I talked about in the podcast last week. So Paul will have to listen to that again. But a game that we didn't talk about is I've been playing Deathloop on the PS5, and Deathloop is out on the PS5, but also it'll come to Xbox. Not announced yet, but it will do next year probably, with the Bethesda deal, and it's done really well on the review stage. A lot of people reviewed it really highly. It got a couple of 10s, I think.
That's good.
And I was kind of a bit wary about it. I don't know why I had to get it for some reason. I had to still get it. I love Dishonored. I really like that world, and it's very much has a kind of a sense of that. And you play this guy who kind of wakes up on the beach in the morning in this place, and then doesn't know why he's there, what's going on, and then he has a kind of nemesis who's this I've forgotten their names, this woman, and she's sort of taunting him, and then he goes out and you start to work out you've been here before, you're in this kind of loop, and it's a time loop that happens in this location, like in 4 sections: morning, noon, afternoon, and night. And there's about probably 8 playing areas that you can go to on this island, and there's these 8 I can't remember what they're called. I think they're called visionaries. And the idea is to stop the time loop, you have to kill all these visionaries in one day. And to do that, it seems impossible because they're all spread out over the island and all in different period, different times. So you have to kind of like do a mixture of like listening out for clues, trying to work out where people are, and then killing people. Working out what part of the afternoon you need to be. Now, it sounds a lot more complicated than it is. It's pretty much just like an open world, but actually, a lot of the time you'll get targets about where you need to go or what you need to do. A marker there saying what you need to do. But what's really nice about it is that kind of open world feel to it. After a while, you have this long tutorial, then you're out there and you're sort of like just literally walking around these areas trying to work out. And you might be in one area in the morning, which would be, there's different things going on in the afternoon, different things going on in the noon, different things going on in the evening. So these same areas have different events going on, or different people in different positions. It's really good. First of all, the combat's great fun. It's a lot of kind of jumping. You gain perks and skills and supernatural abilities, and you've got this whole range of guns. You start with a very basic gun that jams a lot, but later on you get some really great guns that you can save in your time loop by using this special magical stuff. And so after a while, you're sort of like got this amazing weaponry. You can do things like teleport suddenly. You have super strength as a perk at one point. So there's a lot of great combat-y kind of feel to it, and you feel like a superhero as you're doing certain things and jumping around. And the puzzles and the kind of like listening to clues and trying to work out how this all works is really it's really clever. It looks great as well. I'd recommend it for Paul when it comes to Xbox next year. And Darren, maybe you might be tempted because you got PlayStation, haven't you?
Yeah, I've loved it. It's caught my eye since it was announced a few years ago. The kind of spy thriller noir type kind of style of it. It does look fantastic. I'm trying to talk Ryan into getting it. Hopefully we will. But he's been busy with Kenna Bridge of Spirits this week, so I'll have to see.
Yeah.
I haven't played it, but I've watched it a bit, and oh yeah, especially the cutscenes look amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, Deathloop is up there. I really, really want to play it.
Yeah, I think it's a really great. If you like Dishonored and you like those kind of worlds, it feels very easy. You're going to like this a lot. Yeah. Darren, what else you got?
So another game I played was a game called Struggling, which was, you could play it single player, but it was designed to be played as a co-op game. So essentially you play as you can describe it as a kind of a abomination, a laboratory abomination, bit of a failed experiment. And it's basically 2 heads with 2 arms, and one player controls one arm and one player controls the other. And you've got to grab onto things to kind of drag yourself around, and you can swing off things, and you can mutate as you kind of beat bosses and whatnot. And it's got a lot of good ideas, and it's quite creative, and it looks good, and it sounds good, but the control system is designed to be difficult because of the character, but it is absolutely infuriating. As that's all I can say about it. As the game tries to introduce new mechanics and get a bit more complicated, ask more of you, it just lays bare how frustrating it is with the controls. And I uttered a few swear words late at night the other night when I was playing it. It was really, really frustrating. So I think I gave it 3 out of 5 in the end, because I could see what they were trying to do, and there's clearly a creative bunch who developed it, but yeah, I couldn't get past controls. They just really made it a stressful experience for me.
Oh God, that sounds annoying.
It really is.
So, are you just sort of having to move through an area? That's what you're going to do.
Yeah, so you go through different environments. So you start off in the labs where all the kind of scientists are. They're having a bit of a party. You don't know why. And then you go through like cave systems, canyons, and you've got to climb cliff faces, kind of swing across pools of radioactive waste, avoid these cave dwelling monsters that'll kind of snap you up if you walk in their paths and whatnot. So it doesn't look like much at first, and as it gets more complicated, it starts to get really, really difficult.
Wow. Okay, good. I won't be playing that.
No, I don't think you'd like it.
I reviewed a game for the site a while ago called Twin Cop that sounds the same as that. Basically,
that's the gimmick.
There was 2 cops who got cut into half and then glued together, and then one person controlled the left-hand side of the body and the other person controlled the right-hand side of the body. And trying to play that with my, I think he was about 8 at the time, with my 8-year-old son was a recipe for frustration.
Yeah. No, that does sound like hell. Sounds like IKEA.
Imagine having to control Daz around IKEA.
Yeah.
Oh dear me.
Paul, what have you got?
The other thing I've been playing, and I've been actually really enjoying, is Aragami 2. Now, I didn't play Aragami 1. I've since discovered that it's on Games with Gold, so I've downloaded it to play later. But it's basically a sort of shadow ninja, slice them up, stealth them up, sneak about kind of game. It's really good fun. I got Neil to help me test the multiplayer, and you've never seen anybody less suited to being a ninja than Neil. It was like Call of Duty. It was like, right, what we need to do is sneak into these shadows, and it was like Leroy Jenkins. And if you go and you engage in combat with the enemies, 9 times out of 10 you will lose, because there's hundreds of them. Whereas if you sneak about in the shadows and take them out one by one, you can either kill them or knock them out, and hide their bodies and stuff. And playing it sneaky peeky is quite entertaining, and I very much enjoyed it.
And it's on Game Pass, isn't it?
It is on Game Pass, yes.
I've done a Let's Play of it, which is really bad. But But you're right. It's like the combat is if you have faced them, it's rock hard, isn't it?
It's very tricky. Yeah. So I'm going to have to look out for your Let's Play, Gareth.
God, don't! It's terrible.
I'd love to see you as a ninja. That would be the best.
That's really bad. Yeah, there's something nice about it. I mean, I think we said last time it's like that game on PlayStation that I can't remember the name of again.
Tenchu Stealth Assassins.
That's the one. It had a very similar feel to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. You liked that, didn't you?
I did enjoy it a great deal, yes.
Yes. A game that we talked about last week, but I'm going to talk about again, is the Artful Escape, which is on Game Pass as well. I've completed. And I'm kind of amazing kind of premise if you haven't seen it. It's like a mixture between a Wes Anderson film and a sort of like prog rock Pink Floyd concert. You play this kind of like young lad whose uncle was a very famous folk singer, almost like Bob Dylan, and he is having to do a concert for his memorial, doing his old songs. He thinks he's a folk musician, but really he's a rock star. He's like a prog rock guitarist, and he gets zapped into space and has to play a concert with this guy called Lightman, and they play a sort of like a weird interstellar concert in this place called the Cosmic Lung, and you basically, it plays first of all as like you're just going around chatting to people, you're going around looking at the kind of like town you're in, and then when you're in the universe playing your guitar, you're sort of like doing platforming, but you're running along doing platforming in this huge kind of like mad kind of planets and thing, but you're playing the guitar at the same time, so you can at any point just start to play the guitar and you're just playing along to the soundtrack, and it's addictive. It's just really well crafted. It looks brilliant, and there's some kind of like what's it called, like you're looking that someone will play something and you have to copy on your controller the beats and stuff. What's that called? Like a rhythm music game.
Oh, like a rhythm action.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it's not so much that you can do it in your own beats. You can make it completely different as long as you do the thing. But it's a really brilliant game. I really recommend. It's on Game Pass. It's brilliantly designed and crafted. It's about 3 hours long. Really well done.
Oh, is that it? It caught my eye. If it's not too long, I'll have to have a look at it sooner rather than later. Yeah,
it looks great on Series X as well. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Darren, you got another one for us?
I've got loads, yeah.
Okay.
So Ember is another one I've been playing, and I think the review's gone live now, or it will do very shortly. So essentially, you play as a privately contracted firefighter, but you take on electrical hazards, gas leaks, all sorts. And it's like it reminds me of a game I played a while ago called Kill It With Fire, where you were a pest control and you had to hunt down spiders and goodness knows what else and use all sorts of over-the-top crazy weapons, and it was a cel-shaded kind of wacky presentation in terms of visuals, and it's very much like that. But what you do is you travel around to different buildings and sites, and you can do a series of missions in each one. So you might have to rescue your clients who are stuck in the building. You might have to find a special item that they want you to recover from the building. You might need to help destroy the building faster by setting off explosive barrels and goodness knows what else. So it's just really silly fun. And there's quite a lot to do as well, because it's got online functionality. So there's daily challenges, weekly challenges. You can jump in and matchmake with other people online, or you can set up local multiplayer games as well. It's really good fun. If you just want a bit of a fun blast for an hour or two, it's worth a look. It is pretty good.
Okay. Yeah, it does. It looks, the little trailer for it looked really mad, and with a group
wacky.
Of people, it's good.
Yeah, it's good fun.
Good, Ember. What about you, Paul? You got another one?
The last one that I can talk about is a little shoot 'em up from East Asia Soft called Crisis Wing, and it's like a love letter to the 90s shoot 'em ups that you used to get on like the Super Nintendo and stuff. So when you're playing it, it's in letterbox format down the screen, and so it's only in 4:3 ratio. And it's a proper rock hard twitch reflex bullet hell shooter. So I'm enjoying it quite a lot, swearing quite a lot as I die. There doesn't seem to be any way through the patterns of the bullets and everything. But yeah, I mean, it's a throwback to the old school, as it were, and yeah, it seems to work really nicely. I just need to play it a bit more, and then I shall scribble some words to say, yes, it's not too bad.
I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you go back to those games. They're driving me mad.
Oh well, it's just it's called being a professional.
I know, I'm not professional. I just need a little walking simulator. That's all I need. That's all I can do. I'm going to mention the last game is, which I've got a review for. I think I've said this again, but for some reason, I end up reviewing the basketball games for us. I don't know why. I'm
having this weird feeling of deja vu.
Yeah, I know. I'm not very good at them. And I was saying I did MBK, whatever it's called, 22, and it's good. It's a great basketball game. It's a brilliant. It looks brilliant. The games they play great. They've had little tweaks here to attack and defending's a lot better on the AI. It's all that's brilliant. And there's a mode called Career Mode, which last year they did, and it was like that sort of serious drama. You were sort of like this young kid coming up who had problems with his dad. It was quite like a film. I quite enjoyed that. And then in the middle you play the games as you progress from playing college basketball all the way to the NBA. This year they've done this thing where you play this guy, and I made a character called Veal Tryhard, and Veal was an idiot. I don't know why. He's just an idiot. I mean, I think that's the thing. And Veal is a kind of YouTube star. So he does lots of basketball tricks, and he's a sensation. And it's about him now trying to go pro. And where does he go to college? He lives with his manager in a small apartment. But the difference is now, rather than this kind of real place you're based on, you live in this make believe city. So you go out the door, and then you're basically in an MMO. With loads of other players all running around this city.
Oh.
And you can go to basketball courts and sort of play against people if you want to, like on a 5-on-5 sort of street basketball. You can go and do training, and basically the whole career road seems to be about you getting an agent, sponsorship. There's a rap career at one point, and every now and again you play a basketball game.
So there's less basketball this year, is it?
It felt like it a little bit on the career mode. So it's whether that's for you or not. And I think that it's a brilliant basketball game. The best there is, I think. But it's whether you like that stuff. It's just not me, because I'm not of that age. I've not got that interest, and I don't care about corporate sponsorship and agents and stuff like that. So it got a bit dull for me. And also, Veal was an idiot. And it got my nerves, so it's horrible to play someone who's an idiot. Yeah, so that's NBA. But if you love your basketball, you're going to like this still. But yeah, I mean, there's loads of amazing options in there. You've got that career mode you can just play on its own. You've got this other thing called My NBA, which is like you create a basketball team, do all the management of it as well as play the games. They're life eaters, those games. So yeah, great. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on to some news, because last night there was Nintendo Direct announcements. Now, Paul, have you got a Switch? I can't remember. I haven't got one.
My son has one.
Right.
So yeah, when I can. Oh, my wife has one as well. Actually, she's got the Switch Lite. So whenever I can sort of prize it out of the boys' hands, I do like a bit of Breath of the Wild or something.
Okay.
But he is I showed him the trailer for the new Kirby game, and he's sold. He wants that straight away. So
and Darren, you've got a Switch, haven't you?
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
So you're good. So let's if I mention a few things, we're not going to do them all here. I'll mention a few things, and you tell me if I missed something important. Is that good? You can talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Kirby game. What is Kirby, and tell me about it. Is it fun?
So Kirby,
little No, go on. It's just the new game. Was it? I can't even remember what the game's called now.
Forgotten Land. Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
Yeah. And the big change seems to be that all the Kirby games I've seen the boy play before have been sort of 2D. And this one looks like it's proper 3D and running around and stuff. And he was blown away by this. He's very excited indeed.
Oh, good. So, Darren, are you excited about this?
I am. So I used to be like a massive Nintendo fanboy. Like I still am. I still love Nintendo. I've got loads of old games and at home in the loft and stuff back at my parents that I've not brought with me yet. But it's a big deal for fans of the franchise because, as Paul said, it's like a jump into 3D.
Right.
And Kirby was named after a fella called John Kirby, who was a lawyer for Nintendo. I don't know if you've heard the story. And they were being sued by a film studio. I can't remember what game it was for. And he basically defended them and beat the lawsuit. And they thanked him and said that we'll name a character after you. So Kirby is male and named after a real man called John Kirby. So that's his kind of legacy for the company, because they would have potentially gone bust if he hadn't have won that lawsuit for them. So
that's nice.
So there's a nice story behind it. But the game looks good. I think it will be a popular game as well. It's one of those. Nintendo have got so many mascots, so it's nice to see them all get a bit of attention every now and then.
And that's coming out spring 2022.
Like everything else.
Yeah, like the whole world, yeah.
Yeah, March 22 probably.
Yeah. Let's talk about the big reveal at the end, which is Bayonetta 3, which got a little trailer, but then also got gameplay added into it. It looks like it's done. I played Bayonetta, I think, maybe on the PlayStation. Maybe I've made that up. Yeah, it's good. You two Bayonetta fans? Who's a Bayonetta fan?
I do like a bit of Bayonetta.
Yeah.
I played it on the 360, and I've played it again when they re-released it for the Xbox One. And yeah, I'm a big fan of Bayonetta. I was very disappointed when they didn't bring Bayonetta 2 to the Xbox, because that was Switch only, was it, Des?
I think it was because it's Sega that developed it, and Sega and Nintendo are big pals these days, aren't they? So I think it did get exclusivity for the Switch.
Yes, and so now there's a Bayonetta 3 that I'm probably not going to be able to play either.
Darren, are you a big Bayonetta fan?
I've never played it. I like the look of it. It's kind of like like a Devil May Cry type slasher and stuff. But I've never played it. I played her in Super Smash Brothers, but I've never played one of her own games. But I think this game was announced in 2017 or something mad.
Yeah,
so it's been on the cards for a long time. So I think people will just be glad to see some gameplay. No, it exists. It's nearly ready and it's coming next year.
Now, is it fair to say? I mean, when I watched the trailer, the engine still looked quite old. I agree. It looked like a sort of Xbox 360 or PlayStation 3 game until they kind of went she summons these creatures and they started moving around, and I thought, that's kind of looks a bit more advanced. But
I think you're right. I think it's the limitations of the Switch. We're used to Series X's and PS5s.
Yeah,
the Switch just isn't as powerful.
It just isn't. Yeah, it's something about it. It's the colours, maybe. I don't know. It looked like a Bayonetta game. It looked like nothing really had changed since the last one, which is what people kind of want, I suppose.
The mission accomplished then, if it looked like a Bayonetta game.
And I wonder if they're going to, because the first game and the second game, it was a little bit hardcore, wasn't it?
It was very much so.
Yeah. So I don't know if they're going to still go down that road, or it's going to interesting. We'll see. Now the rest of it, I just don't know what any of this means. So you two can help me. It's like a blur to me of things, names of things. Is it worth talking about Metroid Dread? We know that's coming. There was a bit more about that, wasn't it? It's extra story trailer. Metroid. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Metroid. Metroid Prime 4 was announced a couple of years ago, or whenever it was, and we still don't know anything more about that. So I think Metroid Dread, I think it was rumoured to be a project ages ago, and it got shelved, and then it's kind of here because it's in the same string of games. There were some Metroid games for the Game Boy Advance, like Metroid Fusion and Super Metroid for the SNES, the kind of 2D side scroller ones. So it's in that kind of string of games. whereas the Metroid Primes were the fully 3D ones. But I like the look of it. I think it looks really good. I think I might pick it up as well, actually.
Good. Dying Light 2 is coming to the Switch, which is on as a cloud version, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought it looked good when I saw the trailer.
Yeah,
When I
yeah.
watched the trailer, I thought,
That's quite a good game to play on the Switch, I think.
Yeah.
Sort of pick up
It's
and play.
not really going to go with the Nintendo sort of family friendly.
No.
no, that's what they want, though. They want variety, I guess, just to show that they can cater for all audiences.
The Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, which we know is going to get remade, but this is the original version, isn't it? That's going to come to Switch in November, which will make people happy. I'm sure.
Definitely.
I'll go back. Anything else I've missed here? Because
Splatoon 3. That's the other one that the boy is very, very excited about because he's rinsed Splatoon 2. I bought all the DLC and beat all the DLC, and he's finished the entire game all on his own. He goes online and destroys people. I mean, he does that in Splatoon. He also does it in Super Smash Bros. It's really quite amusing seeing a 10-year-old destroying everybody that tries to fight him.
Wow.
That's brilliant. I love it.
But yeah, so he's very excited about Splatoon 3 as well. So we can't not mention that one.
And that's coming out in 2022 again, probably March, like you said. Yeah.
Probably springtime, yes.
Yeah. Anything else, Darren?
I think a couple of big things for Nintendo fans that weren't games as such was the Virtual Console. They're going to bring N64 games and Sega Genesis games to the platform. And they're going to bring online multiplayer to them as well, which is quite cool. And they're releasing limited edition N64 controllers and Sega Genesis replica controllers for the Switch. So there'll be like wireless controllers you can play the old games with that are modelled exactly on the originals. So that's quite cool because people have been asking for N64 games for ages because they were available on the Wii Virtual Console like ages and ages ago when that was released. But this time around they've got online multiplayer, which is quite cool. So that's going to be called Nintendo Online Expansion Pack. But they haven't announced how much extra it'll cost, etc. yet. And then the other thing was the Super Mario Brothers movie. They announced the cast, which reading Twitter's reaction was really quite entertaining as it was on. Because I was quite like, oh, okay, then that's interesting. I'm going to keep an open mind. But yeah, a lot of people have just laughed themselves silly at it. So we'll see. Chris Pratt is going to be Mario. Anna Taylor-Joy is going to be Peach, who's in that Queen's Gambit, really, really good Netflix drama. Charlie Day from It's Always Sunny is going to be Luigi, and there's a few other people in it as well. So, yeah, I don't know how that's going to go down when that comes out.
It's tricky.
It's as good as the last one with Danny DeVito.
Bob Hoskins, right?
Oh, Bob Hoskins, sorry,
Yeah,
not Danny
that's right.
DeVito.
God, wow.
Yeah, I went to the cinema to see that, so you should all feel sorry for me.
Oh my
I do
God.
feel sorry for you, Paul. Blimey.
Yeah. Good. Let's leave all Nintendo thing, and we're going to go straight into it. We're going to do a quiz straight away.
Yeah.
We're going to do the quiz. I think you two played this last time, didn't you? So
We did.
Darren won, didn't you? Just.
Darren by
I
a single
did.
point last time.
Yeah. Okay. So the idea of this quiz is, in case you don't know, is I have got 5 games here, and I've got 5 quotes, some dialogue, 5 lines of dialogue from the game. And the first clue I give is obviously quite hard, and then it goes down in order. So if you get it straight away, you get 5 points. If you get the clue on the last one, you'll get 1 point. Obviously, the last one's going to be a lot easier to give it away. So it's 5 games and 5 clues, which, what should we call this? Let's call it Who Said That? That's what we're going to call it. Who Said That? That's the name of the quiz.
Yeah.
So are we ready, gentlemen?
I am ready. Would you like to go first, Darren?
That's very kind of you. I will. Thank you, Paul.
No problem, my
Very
friend.
nice, very nice here.
Very civil.
Yeah. So the first, I'm always about to read out the name of the game. The
I
first,
wanted to go first, just in case.
the first clue is this: seeing you here now, it's more than I can take. And you get 1 guess each.
I have no idea. Halo? No idea.
No. Paul?
Is it Silent Hill 2?
Oh, no. That sounds like a Silent Hill 2 line, though, doesn't it?
It does,
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, no. Next one. Off my chair, Jester. The king sits here. That's Paul.
Sounding familiar. Is it The Witcher 2?
Oh, no. No, good guess so. Darren.
I mean, I can't not. Is it The Witcher 3?
No, it's good though. You got to do it because I will be hard, but yeah, I will be that hard. Yeah, good. No, next clue. Remember, those ain't your bodyguards; they're your brothers. Trust in them always. Darren.
I don't know. Far Cry 3.
No. Paul.
They're your brothers. Trust in them always.
Those ain't your bodyguards; they're your brothers. Trust in them always.
It sounds a bit kind of Gears of War. Is it Gears of War 2?
No.
I nearly swore then for the blue episode.
Fourth clue. I've come up with a new recipe.
Is the way you pronounce that a clue?
Yeah.
Right, it's not helped.
No.
I'm more confused.
I've come up with a new recipe. Final Fantasy 9.
No. Darren.
Final Fantasy 7.
No. Last clue. I want to ride my chocobo all day.
Oh.
Who's it? Darren, isn't it?
It's Darren, yeah.
Final Fantasy 8.
No.
Oh.
Final Fantasy 15.
Well done, Paul. 1 point. Hey.
That was hard.
It was really hard, wasn't it?
As soon as that recipe thing was, it's definitely Final Fantasy. I was just trying to remember which one.
It's the recipe and the bodyguard and the brothers bit was the four of them. Okay, yeah. Good. Well done. 1 point. That's good. You're still in it. Next one. First clue. Kaz, I'm already a demon.
Just say the first word again for me.
Kaz, I'm already a demon.
Kaz, I'm already a demon. Devil May Cry 2.
No. Darren.
Bayonetta?
No. Be good to have a Bayonetta one in there. Yeah. Next clue. I won't scatter your sorrow to the heartless sea. I will always be with you. I won't scatter your sorrow to the heartless sea. I will always be with you.
Well, I find that really comforting, Gareth.
Thanks. I know. Darren.
I don't know. Sea of Solitude? No idea.
No. Good game, though.
Is it Kingdom Hearts?
No. Next clue. This is the long one, this one. Don't know why I didn't cut this down. Why are we still here? Just to suffer? Every night I can feel my leg and my arm, even my fingers, the body I lost, the comrades I lost won't stop hurting. It's like they're all still there. You feel it, don't you? I'm going to make them give back our past.
Yeah, I got goosebumps then. You should be an actor.
I know, I should.
I have literally no idea what that is. Make them give back our past. I don't know. Kingdom Hearts 2.
No, Darren.
I have no idea at all. Pass. Can't even hazard a guess.
Okay, good. We go to the next clue. Skullface plans to become a nuclear power. Darren.
Far Cry 4.
No. You even know this now, or Paul.
No, I don't know it. If this is one of your obscure walking simulators, I'm in a bit of trouble. Skullface. Is it? I don't know. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
No. The last clue. This is Paul. I'm Big Boss, and you are too.
Oh, that's is that Metal Gear Solid 5?
Yes. Phantom
well
Pain.
done.
Well done, Paul. Point.
You had to use the word Big Boss before I would.
I know, before you got it. That's it. Well done, well done. Well, that's good. It's good for the people at home shouting at you.
Yes, absolutely. We're these idiots talking about games. What do they know?
They're hard, though. They are hard. I've gone for a hard bunch this week. Third game. First one. Who's answering first?
Darren to go.
What a contradiction a human is.
Alan Wake. Sounds like something to say.
No, good guess.
Right.
Oh, this sounds very familiar. Like it's something I've played not long ago. Is it Far Cry 3?
No.
Damn it.
Next one.
It sounded like it was part of the whole, you know what the definition of madness speech was.
Yeah. Clue 2. The thing about happiness is that you only know you've had it when it's gone.
Fable 3.
No.
Oh, no idea. We Happy Few.
No. Good guess though. Clue 3. Humanity is so resilient to cling to life despite all of this. There was silence, you two.
It's Darren's go. So.
Oh, is it? Halo 3?
No.
Gears 2.
No. Next one. You're a single bomb in an arsenal of thousands, preparing to lay waste to what's left of mankind. You're a single bomb in an arsenal of thousands, preparing to lay waste to what's left of mankind.
It's getting progressively more difficult as it goes. Oh God! What? I will say, I don't know, Resident Evil 4.
No, Darren.
Gears of War 3.
No.
I feel like we're flirting around the right area. We're probably miles off.
The last clue. It's the end of the world all over again.
Is that me or you, Des?
I think it's me this time.
Okay. come up with a good idea, but just get the number wrong.
Yeah. That's.
Think about the last two, especially.
I don't. Returnal.
No.
The only thing I can think is one of the Fallout games, maybe Fallout 3.
No. But it's Fallout 4.
Oh,
it's so cruel. It's so cruel.
That's cruel.
Oh,
You're a harsh mistress.
I'm really harsh. But you got 2 points, so it's good before. So so that's unlucky.
Yes.
Hard, that one. Very hard. Are we ready for the fourth one?
We're ready for the fourth one, and it's
Okay.
me to go first.
Ooh, I love this town. Love it like you might love a mother who popped you out on the steps of an orphanage and now stops you to ask if you've got a smoke for her.
Is it Arkham Asylum?
No. Good guess again. Darren. Ooh, I love this town. Love it like you might love a mother who popped you out on the steps of an orphanage and now stops to ask you if you've got a smoke for her.
I don't know. Alan Wake. I've no idea.
Alan Wake's been popular tonight.
Yeah.
No. Next one. I have found that people lie, most often deceiving themselves. Not so the dead. The dead are so very, very loud. Darren.
Bloody hell.
I think it's because we're doing this late.
Might be, yeah. Resident Evil 8 Village.
No. It's a good guess again. Paul.
Resident Evil 7, I have to do it.
No. The next one discovers whether you know the game or not. Right? Swap meat for Chrome, live a BD fantasy, whatever, but by the end of it all, it's a code you live by that defines who you are.
Oh, well, if this is the one that's meant to be decisive, then I obviously don't know it. Could we just have the line again, please?
Swap meat for Chrome, live a BD fantasy, whatever, but by the end of it all, it's a code you live by that defines who you are.
Mad Max.
Good guess, but no. Darren.
It's not Ghost of Tsushima, is it?
No. No. Next one. I don't know if God left the meeting happy, but I'm pretty certain Jackie did. Darren.
Oh, I know it now. I think.
I have no idea on this one. I have no idea, I'm afraid.
Okay.
So I'll pass.
Paul.
Is it The Darkness?
No. But I can see who you got.
I mean, oh dear. Sorry.
Last clue. V. If you don't have a titanium skull lining, you're going to have memory problems in no time. And is that Paul?
I think so.
It is me. V. I don't know. The Darkness 2.
No. Darren?
I don't know. Devil May Cry 5.
No. It is Cyberpunk 2027.
Oh, right.
Yeah. You two.
Oh.
That's all right. It's all right. It's all to play. It's all to play for in the final game.
2-0, final question.
Yeah. Here we go.
A high-scoring game.
Ready? First one. Do you? Good. Keep falling. Keep getting back up. Do you? Good. Keep falling. Keep getting back up.
Over to you, Darren.
No idea. I'll have to pass it.
Paul?
Keep falling, keep getting back up. Far Cry 5.
No. Next one. The obstacles in the path define the path.
That's almost Zen, is that? Good
That
grief.
is profound, yeah.
Is it Far Cry 3?
No. There's no Far
We
Cry.
know where Darren's going next.
Psychonauts 2.
Oh, no. Next one. You would be wise to surrender. What are you saying then, Des?
Oh, is it me?
was you.
Be wise to surrender. Halo 5.
No.
Is it Gears 2?
No. Gears 2's got a look more shout than it ever had done tonight. Next one. By the right of the council. By the will of the force.
Oh, that's... is it Jedi Fallen Order?
Yes, it is, Paul.
Oh, well done.
Well done. And the last clue was Cole Kettus Rise Jedi Knight. Nice easy one at the end. But yeah, well, there you go. Paul won at 4-0.
Well played.
Unlucky. It's hard tonight, isn't it? Very hard.
Yeah, that was difficult.
Yeah, it's
That
tricky.
was very difficult.
I think we're tied. We're doing this late. Right, you two. What are we looking forward to next week before we go? Paul?
I am looking forward to getting some time with Diablo 2 Resurrected. So that's going to be exciting.
Darren, what about you?
For me, I'll be reviewing World War Z Aftermath for the site, so looking forward to getting my teeth into that.
Great. I've got a million games to play for the site, but also I've got FIFA coming out next week, so I'll be playing that for sure, quite a lot. If we want to get hold of you, where do we get hold of you, Paul?
My Twitter handle is...
So proud of you.
Paul. I only recently learned the proper name for it. So yeah, that's my handle, everybody. Feel free to
grab on.
I was going to grab on, but yeah, it's...
Unbelievable. What is it, Paul?
It's at TheXboxHub Paul.
At TheXboxHub Paul. Darren, what about you?
And mine is at 27 Darren.
27 Darren. Mine is at GB Briley on Twitter and Twitch. But for now, thank you very much, everyone. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
You've been listening to the official podcast of TheXboxHub.com. You'll be able to find all the notes of this show at www.thexboxhub.com/podcast. You can also check out our social feeds on Instagram and Twitter at The Xbox Hub and search for The Xbox Hub on Facebook.